Greetings and good morning. It is day 47 on the Appalachian Trail. I'm on some grassy ridge. I think the name of this mountain is called Stone Mountain. I'm about an hour into my hike this morning. I left when my campsite when it was dark. I camped along just a tent site, multiple tent sites really, just outside the park boundary at mile 505. There were two other people camping there, and I enjoyed talking to them for a little bit while I was there. Today should be another long day. I hope there's not as many rocks. Gosh, yesterday, rocks. I'm going to try to make it to a tent site just before Trimpe Shelter. I think it's about 2 miles before Trimpe Shelter. There's a tent site that I got my eye on at the top of a hill, so I'm gonna see if I can get there. So that's my plan. I want to check out the scales. The scales are in probably about 30 minutes. I'd wanted to tent there last night, but I just ran out of gas. So let's go check it out. So my tent site last night was along a stream. So I had the constant sound of a mountain stream as I slept last night, and oh, I slept so good. And I needed to too, because I was tired and I got a poor night's sleep the night before from the wind. But there's a downside to tenting next to a stream, and that's you wake up and your outer portion of your tent is damp. So I got to deal with that a little bit later, but that's not too bad. I'll trade that for a great night's sleep. I might get a pretty good sunrise here in a few minutes. The scales. You can camp here. You can even bring your car up here. Oh look, there's more wild ponies over there. So my understanding is that this is where local farmers would bring their cattle to be sold. They'd be collected here and I guess weighed, scales, and then be shipped off. This is really nice. I need to come back here. Look, they even have a bear box. Okay, so get this. The reason why they sold their cattle up here in the mountains and not somewhere further down the valley is because farmers learned their cows weighed more up here and lost a lot of weight being herded down into the valleys. So they got more money for their cows if they weighed them and sold them up here. So the ponies aren't wild. I was reading about them on a plaque here inside the scales. The ponies were brought here by the National Forest Service to help keep the balds clear after they purchased the property. I think in the 60s. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna cut you on. There you go. That's better. Apologize about that. They herd them up every year and do some kind of health assessment, and apparently they even sell some of them if the herd gets too large. You know, it says our elevation here is 5,000 feet, but I don't think that's right. I think it's just shy of 5,000 feet, like 4,950 or 4,970, something like that. Because I thought, you know, when I came over Grayson Highlands, that was the last time I was going to be above 5,000 until I got maybe to Massachusetts. That's an interesting thought, isn't it? The next time I'm above 5,000, it's in Massachusetts. Moosalok, I think. I need to double check that. That may be 4,000. But anyway, it's going to be a long time before I'm back over 5,000 feet. I've got a long series of downhills now. I think this one's a couple mile downhill. Then I go up a little bit, and another long downhill. Slowly getting back down into the valley. You know, I complained about all those rocks yesterday. Rocks. And you know what? That's not new trail for me. I've hiked that before several times. I just don't remember it being that rocky. I'm pretty sure they brought in lots of truckloads of rocks. I guess it's different when your legs are already tired and beat up and you're carrying 35 pounds. Oh, somebody up here. Sorry about that abrupt stop. There was somebody that had been camping right there along the trail, and I didn't see him until I was right up on him. Now, where was I? What was I saying? Oh, all the rocks? Yeah, I've hiked that many times, and I just don't remember the rocks, I guess. When your legs are tired and you're carrying 30 pounds, 40 pounds, not 40, 30, I was probably carrying 30 pounds yesterday. It probably was what I was carrying. I had 3 days worth of food in my pack. Anyway, I've got a lot of long downhill segments here for the rest of the day. I think I've got one uphill, but it's mostly downhill, so. Here I go. Oh, I got a couple more things to share with you. So, 2 nights ago, I didn't wake up on my mattress. I woke up and my butt was not touching the ground. So I thought, maybe I just wasn't blowing it up all the way. So last night, I made sure it was blown up as much as I could. And then about 4 o'clock, I woke up and my butt was on the ground. So, I don't know. You know, I usually crawl in bed around 7:30 now. So I'm on that mattress a long time. And if there is a leak, well, obviously there is a leak. But I mean, gosh, it's real small, real small. Am I gonna find that when I put it underwater, trying to look for the hole? I don't know. Maybe it's just a sign I need to get out of bed and get going. Your time on this mattress is done. Get going. Because I did get up at 5. In my left knee, it's not excruciatingly painful, but it's still tender. I can't kneel and put any weight on it. I hit it hard. I think it's still a bit swollen. And then, okay, my shoes. I wanted to try to get these shoes to basically a quarter of the way, because I got 4 pair, 1 for each quarter. And I think they're going to make it. Well, they got to make it, because I'm not going to be resupplied with new shoes until tomorrow. But they're looking pretty rough. But I think they can make it another 20 miles or so, 25 miles. Well, I hope, because I sure don't want to hike this in my camp shoes. These rocks would be painful in camp shoes. Wow, that's a nice bridge. Well, I'm not sure what mountain it is I just climbed, but I made it. Whew! And now we go down. The trail to our right is now called Iron Mountain Trail. Maybe another name for it too. But anyway, it's the old Appalachian Trail. The old AT used to go that way. And it would kind of, the course it took in Virginia was more of a southern course. More along the lines of, there's a ridge there. It went by Fancy Gap and some of those other places, went over Peaks of Otter before, popping back to the northern side of the state. Primary reason was because the national forest, there was a new national forest. I think, was it Jefferson? Anyway, there was a new national forest in the northern section, and in the early 70s they moved the trail to attract more of a northerly route in Virginia than a southerly route in Virginia. Picked up a lot of nice new things with that. I mean, you got Dragon's Tooth and McAfee Knob and Tinker's Cliff. But I think there were some also pretty neat things in the southern route too. I think there were some incredible vistas as you look down towards South Carolina along the top of the plateau. And I think there were several other mountains in there that were really beautiful, coming over Peaks of Otter, some of those places. Anyway, kind of interesting to see that. I had been looking for it, and I'm glad I had my wits about me when I crossed it. Because I didn't have my wits about me earlier. I had to eat something. I was going bonkers. I feel a lot better now that I've eaten something. All right. It's noon. My hiking day is more than halfway over, so let's keep hiking. I should add the old route, the southerly route, was mostly across private property. The trail went mostly across private property, and sometimes that was a problem. But by taking it to a northern route, I was going through national forests, and so those problems went away. Dealing with private property owners that weren't always happy about the trail. I just want to show you, I made it across without getting my feet wet. Most importantly, I made it across without getting my pack wet. That was a pretty strong flow of water. You know, when you cross a creek like that, you're supposed to unbuckle the straps on your backpack, just in case you fall and the current takes you. It's easier to wiggle out. And I did that. Oh my goodness, I feel like such an idiot. I apologize. I didn't get any video of the creek, I don't think. That was Comer Creek Falls back there. I guess I just got so excited about jumping across the creek, I forgot to show it to you. I really apologize about that. There's a falls and then a creek. A lot of water in the creek. It was moving pretty fast. I meant to show it to you, and I just got excited about jumping the rocks. Sorry. All right, there's Mount Rogers. Then there, one of the little pop-ups right there in the middle is Pine Mountain. We came over Pine Mountain this morning. And I am 0.8 to my campsite. I'm trying to decide, am I going to make it? Whoo, doggies. Okay, it is day 47, time to close it out. It was an 18-mile day, and I am tenting on top of some mountain at mile marker 523. And I'm waiting to see if I can catch a sunset over there. It was a, I don't know, uneventful hike. The first 4 hours were kind of in those rocks coming off of the Grayson Highlands area. And then the last, I don't know, 6 hours or so were pretty good. A lot of dirt trails. It was easy to navigate. But I mean, it was just hiking in the woods really all day. That's what it was. Nothing crazy or all that interesting really. So let's see if we can get a sunset.